the mid segments of a triangle. So we already looked at these before, and we're gonna just pretend like these numbers aren't here. So if this one is 4, what does the big one have to be?
8.
8, okay? And if we look at it, and the small one is 2, what does the big one have to be?
4.
4, okay? If the big one is 10, what is the small one?
20.
If the big one is 10, what's the smaller one? 5. Okay, if the big one's 10, the smaller one's 5. Okay, and so we learned from doing this yesterday that whatever, you could take the small one and times it by 2, and it will equal the big one. Okay, if we took 5 times 2, we would get 10. If we took 2 times 2, we would get 4. And so they're equivalent. Okay, if you multiply it by 2, the big one will equal the small one. Okay, and so how we set this up, the form is the same for all of these. Okay, it's going to be 2 times the small one will equal the big one. Okay, 2 times the small one will equal the big one. Okay, so if we look at this, we can say, well, our small one is x plus 16. Our big one then is 25 plus x. Okay, 2 times the small one is going to give you the big one. Okay, and so our very first thing that we need to do is do what? Distribute. Okay, so 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 16, 32. And we haven't changed anything on this side, so you're going to have 25 plus x. So I got 2x plus 32 equals 25x. Okay, and then what's our next step always?
Moving the letters and numbers.
Move the letters to the left and the numbers to the right. So 2x is technically a letter, so it doesn't need moved. 32 is a number, so it needs moved. So you're going to say minus 32. And what do we put it under on the other side? 25 or x? 25. So you're going to say minus 32. Okay? And then we can also say, well, there's an x over here, and that's the right side. So we need to move it. So you're going to say minus x. Minus x. Okay, and on all these, you should have an x on both sides, okay? So something should cross out and cancel on both sides of that equal sign. Okay, so 2x minus 1x is 1x. 25 minus 32 is negative 7. Okay, and then what's our last step always?
Divide.
Divide. Okay, so we divide by 1. So we have x equals negative 7. Okay, on the next ones for tomorrow, for those of you guys that do like to work ahead, okay, you would take this and plug it back into the other one and actually figure out what is that length. Okay, so if it said x plus 16, everywhere there was an x, we're plugging in negative 7. And you would be able to figure out, and once you figure out one length, you can figure out the other one without doing any math. Okay, so if the smaller one is 2 and you figure that out, you know the bigger one is 4. Okay, and so that's where we're headed. So let's look at the next one. Okay, we take, yeah.
On number 2, since it says x minus 3, would the second x be x minus 6?
What do you mean the second x?
Right here, x.
This?
Yeah.
No, you still do the smallest one, which would be x minus.
It would be 2x minus 3 equals x.
You always do the smallest one.
I don't understand where you're getting 6 from. This part?
It'd be negative 6.
I'm asking if the bigger angle would be negative 6.
Oh,
Yes.
so I don't know. We can do this one.
Well, no, it'd be
So you're gonna add 6 over, add 6 and add 6. Okay, and then minus x minus x. So you got 1x equals 6. So x would equal 6. And so this one is actually a really good one. So we know x equals 6. And so if you look up here, we could say, well, x equals 6 here. What does this one have to be? If the big one is 6, what's the small one? 3. Okay, without even plugging in here or doing anything, you know that that one's 3. Okay, and so that's what we're doing tomorrow, but, and so it's really not, it's a little bit extra, but not much, okay? And I know your papers seem like there's a lot, and I don't know what I was doing with the spacing. So some of the pages only have 2 problems, some, I don't. It was like 8 pages when I made the copies and it wasn't supposed to be. All right, so on this one, we say 2 times the small, and I'm just gonna put S, equals the big. Okay, 2 times the small equals the big. And what is our small in this case? Which one is the small one?
Negative 12 plus 2x.
Yeah, so this is gonna be the small one, is gonna equal the big one, and this one is big. And you can clearly tell that this one is this length, and this one is only that length. Okay, so you can tell which one is the big one, which one is the small one. Okay, so we set it up, 2 times the big equal, or 2 times the small equals the big. What's our next step always? Distribute. Okay, so we got 2 times negative 12, I mean negative 24. 2 times 2, or 2x, is going to be 4x. And we haven't changed anything over here, so it's 2x minus 6. Okay, now we need to move all our letters to the left and the numbers to the right. And so right here I got a negative 24, and so it needs moved, so you're going to say plus 24. Okay, and what do we put it under on the other side?
Negative 6.
Under the 6, because it's just a number, so you're going to say plus 24. Okay, what else needs moved?
The 4. The 4.
No?
The number.
So right here is our equal sign. This is on the left side.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh,
and,
2x.
yep, so the 2x needs moved. And in all reality, Mario, you should have, see how this one has a big crossed out thing?
Yeah.
You should have a big crossed out thing on this side too. And so if you don't, then something's not right.
Yeah.
Okay? So 4x minus 2x is 2x. Negative 6 plus 24 is going to be 18. Okay, and what's our last step to do always? Divide. So we're going to divide by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. Okay, 5. We got 2 times our small equals the big. Okay, Bree, what's the small one? Which one is the small one? Perfect. 2x minus 11. And what's our big one? X plus 5. Okay, and I'm not picking on you on purpose, but you just weren't here yesterday, so. Okay, what would your next step be? Distribute. Perfect. Okay, so you got 2 times 2x, so 2 times 2 is 4, and you got an x. 2 times negative 11 is going to be negative 22, equals x plus 5. Okay, and what's our next step? Add 22? Yeah. And what do you put it under? So you're going to say plus 22. Okay, and so these ones cancel. What else needs moved? So you're going to say minus x, So 4x minus, you could put a 1 in front of there. 1x is 3x. 5 plus 22 is going to be 27. And then our last step is always to divide. So we got x equals 9. Okay, 7 is gonna be 2 times, our small one is 2x minus 10 equals the big one, which is 2x minus 2. Yep, distribute. Okay, so 2 times 2 is gonna be 4x. 2 times negative 10,
Negative 20?
negative 20. And then we got 2x minus 2 over here.
Is 1x?
So we're gonna add 20 to both sides to get rid of the 1. And then we also have to subtract 2x on both sides. Okay, so 4x minus 2x,
2x.
2x, negative 2 plus 20, 18. And what's our last step?
Divide?
Divide. X equals 9.